भगवते वासुदेवाय। किं नो राज्येन गोविन्द किं भोगैर्जीवितेन वा येषामर्त्यकाङ्क्षितो नो राज्यं भोगसुखानि च तायिमेव स्थिता युद्धे प्राणं त्यक्त्वा धनानि च आचार्यपितरा पुत्रस्तथैव चापितामहः मातुला श्वशुरपौत्रा शालसम्बन्धिनस्ततः एतान्न हन्तुम् इच्छामि ज्ञातोऽपि मधुसूदनः अपि त्रैलोक्यराजस्य हेतु किं नो मही कृतः निह निहत्यादर्तरास्तन्न का प्रीतिः सज्जनार्दनः. Translation purport given by His Divine Grace Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. O Govinda, of what avail to us are a kingdom, happiness, or even life, when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed on this battlefield. O Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, father-in-laws, grandsons, brother-in-laws, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties, understanding before me, why should I wish to kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me? O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them, even in exchange for the three worlds. Let alone this earth, what pleasure will we derive from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Dear, please give me 1 second. Purport. Arjuna has addressed Lord Krishna as Govinda because Krishna is the object of all pleasure for cows and the senses. By using this significant word, Arjuna indicates that Krishna should understand what will satisfy Arjuna's senses. But Govinda is not meant for satisfying our senses. If we try to satisfy the senses of Govinda, however, then automatically our own senses are satisfied. Materially, everyone wants to satisfy his senses, and he wants God to be the order supplier for such satisfaction. The Lord will satisfy the senses of the living entities as much as they deserve, but not to the extent that they may covet. But when one takes the opposite way, namely when one tries to satisfy the senses of Govinda without desiring to satisfy one's own senses, then by the grace of Govinda, all desires of the living entity are satisfied. Arjuna's deep affection for community and family members is exhibited here partly due to his natural compassion for them. He is therefore not prepared to fight. Everyone wants to show his opulence to friends and relatives. But Arjuna fears that all his relatives and friends will be killed on the battlefield and he will be unable to share the opulence after victory. This is a typical calculation of material life. Actually, Arjuna proclaims this straightforward in the sloka. If they kill, then to whom I will show? He is therefore not prepared to fight. Everyone wants to show his opulence to friends and relatives, but Arjuna fears that all his relatives and friends will be killed on the battlefield and he will be unable to share his opulence. This is a typical calculation of material life. The transcendental life, however, is different. Since the devotee wants to satisfy the desires of the Lord, he can, Lord willing, accept all kinds of opulence for the service of the Lord. And if the Lord is not willing, he should not accept a farthing. Arjuna did not want to kill his relatives, and if there were any need to kill them, He desired that Krishna kill them personally. At this point, he did not know that Krishna had already killed them before. They are coming into the battlefield and that he was only becoming an instrument for Krishna. This fact is disclosed in the following chapters. As a natural devotee of the Lord, Arjuna did not like to retaliate against his miscreant cousins and brothers, but it was the Lord's plan that they should all be killed. The devotee of the Lord does not retaliate against the wrongdoer, but the Lord does not tolerate any mischief done to the devotee by the miscreants. The Lord can excuse a person on his own account, but he excuses no one who has done harm to his devotees. Therefore, the Lord was determined to kill the miscreants, although Arjuna wanted to excuse them. अवज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकधामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा शिवसदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणम् हरे कृष्ण a very interesting point we are in. A beautiful relay, beautiful situation where Arjuna is literally telling to Krishna, Krishna, you want me to kill. Okay, let's say if I kill all these personalities, then to whom I'll show my opulence and everything? Where will be my cousins? Where will be my friends? And if they are not there, then what is the point of having them? This looks little distorted, which is exactly Srila Prabhupada is pointing out. Dear devotees, every person is unique. Let's say there is a situation in our life, and that situation, every person, based on his understanding, his awareness, his logic, his reasoning, his experience, he will deal that situation. Just like there is this bird who lost her eggs. Then she would go to Samudra, the personified form Samudra. Because Samudra only the entire ocean or the sea is surviving. She would go to Samudra and then she would ask, "Can you give back my eggs?" And the Samudra says, "I will not give." Now, what was the response from the bird? The bird began responding by taking away all the water from the sea. She said, "I will dry up your sea. If I dry up your sea, then I will grab my eggs. If you do not give back my eggs, I will dry up your sea." That's what it proclaimed. What is it actually doing? It is actually begin doing it. Now that is a perception of that bird. Now if a person is actually watching from another realm, he will say, "Arey, what's happening? This is foolishness. Can the sea be emptied? Sea cannot be emptied." That means that is his consciousness. That is his level of understanding. Now what is the bird doing? The bird is fixed up. The bird is not looking for any mercy. The bird is not doing it so that people would see. The bird is not doing it because she would get something out of it. Ahituki apriyata. The only intention is to get back her ex. For that, it is ready to do anything. That is one state. Arjuna is also in that state. Arjuna doesn't want to fight because he has his own reasons and logic. For example, a person is not coming to the process of hearing, or is doesn't want to become more and more sincere. So because Shravana Kirtana is the best process. It's given by Lord Chaitanya. I remember on the day of initiation, Zorana Radhana Swami Maharaj says, if you want to advance, it was almost like 10 years back. He told this in the class. He said, if you want to advance in Krishna consciousness, you should do two things. This is very dear to the Lord Chaitanya. Chavanam and Kirtanam. And among that, Kirtanam is the best. But to get, but to do Kirtana, Shravanam has to be there. That means that they cannot be removed. There cannot be one thing cannot be kept, or other thing cannot be removed. So he told all the aspirants. He said, if you all want to become advance, if you all want to advance and follow the four regulative principles nicely, do Shravana and Kirtana sincerely. That's what he said. And this is why am I saying this? Because just like that bird, what is the bird intention? The bird intention is to get the eggs. Doesn't matter. Likewise with the sadhaka, all of us, if we aspire, what we need to aspire? We need to aspire pure devotion service. If we aspire pure devotion service, we should take that association where that pure devotion service fruit is being given to us. Just like the bird desires to get the eggs. There's no other thing. That is, it is fixed up. It is not looking whether somebody will come and help me. Will that big bird will come and help me? Or Garuda will come and help me? No, she's not thinking any of those things. She's just doing her action. For example, we are chanting Hare Krishna. We might not experience happiness, but we should chant Hare Krishna. We are very familiar. Still, we need to chant Hare Krishna. You should pray to the spiritual master. You should pray to the, oh, my dear spiritual master. My chanting is very poor. I'm very familiar with the process. I'm familiar with hearing, familiar with reading, familiar with Kirtana. Everything is familiar. Familiar with Mangalarti, familiar with Krishna Prasad. Everything is familiar. Oh, my dear Lord, please help. Spiritual master, dear Gurudev, please help. Prabhupada ji, please help. I really want to become more and more sincere. Because what are we doing? We are actually looking our faults and then we are anchoring. Just like the bird has a problem. She went to the root of the problem, who's Samudra, and Samudra outright rejected it. I cannot give. Did the bird accepted that and then went back? No, it vowed that I will do this. Likewise, the material nature will not allow us to practice Krishna consciousness. The mind will not allow. The other person's mind also will not allow. There's so many complications happening here. Yesterday was a tricky situation. When I was doing a service, I was intensely praying. What is that service? Doing a service. Because that service went overtime. I was intensely praying. Please pacify everyone else. My dear Lord, please pacify because I went overtime. Doing this service, I went overtime. Please pacify, please pacify. I was intensely praying. But the thing is, the prayer result came today. That means what is happening today? What is the moment you pray something, the moment you aspire something, you see something. We see our anarthas actually. Because what are we doing? We are trying to depend. Please understand this is another good reflection which I observed. What is that is if you intensify your prayers, Lord will show your anarthas. When the Lord shows our anarthas, we become grounded. And then we see that those anartha, we see that we pray for that so that that thing is not repeated again. That is what, na? Who is a sadhu? Sadhu is a person who is seeing his anarthas and then he's trying to come out of those anarthas. See, if a person is repeating the same thing, is not a sadhu, he's a jadoo. That means he's speaking, but he's acting. That is mere hypocrisy. One time, His Honor Radhana Swami Maharaj, he was talking to a priest follows Christianity. And then Maharaj was asking him, what was he asking is, uh, because Maharaj wanted to preach in the college. I think that was in Ohio State University. And then he had to take the permission from that because he is the kind of head of that religious department in that university. That means if this person sanctions, that means he can go and preach in the college. Then he can go in the classes and then we can talk to like once in a week or so. He can talk to the students. So everyone said, you know what, you should go to this high person. If he sanctions, because he's kind of a chance or council or whatever, chancellor, I don't know, some head HOD or something like that, some big person under the religiosity. Religious, there is a religious section there in the university. So Maharaj, he went there. Very interesting. Please hear this. He said, "You come after some time." Maharaj went after some time. Oh, that person, he doesn't have any clothes. He has some gamcha or something like that. And this person is sitting in the you know, sunlight is falling. He's sitting in that. And then he said, "This is the time I can speak to you." Maharaj was little awkward. But he started speaking with him. And then Maharaj was asking questions. Since how many years you've been telling this? Since how long you are doing this? And he said, "I'm a Christian preacher. I've been doing this since 25, 30 years." I think Maharaj was very young at that time, 35 years or so. And it's interesting. At that time, what happens is Maharaj began asking questions, and then through that question, he asked a question. You're speaking all of these things. Do you believe that there is God? This is the question he asked. And then that person, he said, "I did not tell this to anyone, but somehow I have a strong feeling that I shouldn't lie to you." This is what he started. And then he said, "Somehow, I don't know what inspiration is coming from internal. I have to share this with you." He said, "This is great. You share this to me. I'll keep it secret. You share this to me." Then he said, "You know what? I've been preaching since 25, 30 years. Oh, that's my profession. I get salary. I get paid to that. I get salary." See, this itself is an indication. This is not in a selfless way. That means कुछ तो गफला है इधर. There is some khichdi is happening. See, the advert is anything on a spiritual plane. The person is expecting money. The person is expecting some salary. The person is expecting that people should appreciate him. Those things are there. I'm going to be very careful actually. So this is what exactly Maharaj was actually observing him. And then he said, "Yeah, yeah, please tell." And then he said, "You know what? I'll tell something fact." He said, "Yeah, please tell." He said, "There is no God." What? There's no God? You've been practicing, you've been preaching this since 25, 30 years. Oh, that's my profession. I can speak about God for hours and hours. I speak every Sunday at our church. 1,000 people will come in our church. I speak to them fluently. And they're so convinced they clap hands also in front of me. But I'm convinced that there is no God. He said, "From which book you studied this?" Maharaj said, "From where you got this?" He said, "I don't know where I got this, but I am convinced that there is no God." "Then what are you doing?" "This is for my livelihood." So why am I telling this? It's very important for us to understand. Dear devotees, today in the morning also I was talking to my daughter. I was telling her, you know what? We become we become angry just like that, and we become dejected. Um, we are kept in different situations and circumstances, and through that circumstances, we don't remember that we are servant of the Lord. Through that circumstances, we don't understand who we are. That means what is happening, the intelligence is missed at that time. We are losing our identity. That means we are losing our identity means when we are actually hearing or when we are actually chanting, are we really feeling that we are really part and parcel of the Lord? If you are really feeling, then that feeling should continue. Please understand. See, this person is speaking for 20, 25 years, but still he has this conviction. He's atheist actually, but he's preaching. He's a minister, religious minister. That means he's doing it simply for money. You know why I tell this, dear devotees, is take that kind of an association which is on a selfless plane. If a person is looking for name, fame, profit, or delusion, stay away from that. Because if you associate with that group or with that person, what happens is you also will get qualities of that person. And through that, what happens is not that he is already spoiled, you will also be the spoiled child. It's very important. See, that person is practicing is 25 years. That means, do you think that whoever he's hearing from him, will they ever get some conviction that there is God? No. But if the person, he himself is not in that state, what can he give to the others? He's just doing it on a professional plane. But people will also hear from a professional plane. People will not come to the plane of selflessness. Because the person is not aspiring for that selflessness. The person is not in that plane of selflessness. Then I'm telling this, then Maharaj later on he told that, see, this is what happens when you associate, when you have a wrong association. When you are not associated with right Guru Parampara, right Vaishnava Circle, who are really determined and dedicated to the process, then what happens is we will also fall prey to their words because they themselves they did not take right training. And then if we aspire to take that kind of resolution, we will also fall prey to that. This is what he said. And then he said the intentions are wrong. He's doing it, but the intention of doing it is wrong. For example, if a person, a terrorist is killing all the people, what is his intention? He says that if I kill all these people, jihad, then I'll go to heaven. That means Allah Ta'ala, He will protect me. Lord Allah, He will protect me. What? Why? Because I have to kill all these people. Through killing, I'll go. See, dear devotee, he's actually convinced because he's living his life. He's not doing it foolishly. Please understand. People who died in 2001, 9/11, I was actually studying that couple of years back on exactly that 9/11 day. I was just thinking, how did this all happen? How come, knives went inside? How did he stab the driver, the pilot? I mean, how everything happened? Then how is that they are so, strong in, riding the plane? Then those days there was no this thing, 3 second thing where they scan everything. That thing was not there. They were just doing random, check. And then through that, those days they used to allow small knives. Wow. See here, these personalities are so determined that they found that. They used it as a loophole and they did all the disturbances. They used the same knife to stab the pilot. Now, why am I telling this is their intention is to go to heavenly planet, is to go to Allah Ta'ala, their God. The name of the God is Allah. Means all powerful. Want to go there. To go there, their school of preaching is what? If you kill all these personalities, if you Dedicate your life for them, then you'll go there. That is their way that means these persons are convinced they're doing it. Please understand here about this. These personalities are convinced, fully convinced. Even though it is wrong, they're convinced. This seems to be on a selfless man only. But that is on a in a different guna. It is in complete tamo guna. Oh, why am I telling this is there's a beautiful correlation to all of these things. Arjuna, what is he doing here? He doesn't want to fight. What is the core? What is the intention of Arjuna not killing? Because of his family. Exactly, there is no other reason actually. That means Arjuna gives importance to family relationships. It's proving. And if you actually see, that is a qualification to actually understand Gita also. But the Gita, what happened now is they do not give any importance to the relationship and then they want to study the whole thing. That's what Prabhupada is writing. That means they keep Krishna aside. Yesterday we were also reading Nattune tum jatunasma nattune me janadipaha. Where in that Srila Prabhupada is beautifully mentioning that these people, the so-called spiritualists, what they do is they keep Krishna aside. Now, even in the sadhaka's life, how is it keeping Krishna aside? For example, when we are alone, what we are doing, or when we have free time, what we are doing, that shows because Krishna is sitting in the heart. He will actually watch us during that time. See, when you're busy, you'll take care of your children, you'll clean up the diapers, this, that, so many other services. You send the daughters or children to the school. uh, You do some software job. That's okay, but when you're free, what you're doing? Because Krishna is sitting in the heart, you can actually watch that only. Because if when you're free, you're thinking about the Lord, next day your chanting will be beautiful. Because what you did an act which is against the material nature. That means you got a pious, you could not forget about pious deed about it. This is a bhakti action. You did bhakti. What is bhakti? Going against the material plane, acting on the spiritual plane. That is bhakti. That means consciously you are avoiding what you have to avoid and then do what you have to do. For example, you have an opportunity to watch movie. You're not watching movie, but you're actually opening up Gita or you're hearing the class from the spiritual master. Great, great. 100 points came to you. You have an opportunity to watch. You have an opportunity to do, but you are not doing. You are actually telling the mind, no, 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 this is not pleasing. I will do this. What are you doing? A weak heart will not do that. But a heart who is convinced with a relationship, he only does that. Arjuna currently is weak heart. Because Arjuna is representing conditioned soul here. That's why if you see his words, these are not his words actually. Krishna spoke to him. Hare Krishna. He was a pure soul, Arjuna. Krishna only personally spoke to Arjuna. All these words also. Just like Krishna only personally spoke to Parikshit Maharaj. A dead serpent is there, na? Shami Krishi was actually meditating. Parikshit Maharaj puts the dead serpent on the neck. And then he calls, hey, Shami Krishi, get up, please give me some water. He did not respond. Then out of anger, he puts that. Our Acharya says that that is mere arrangement of the Lord. That means Lord actually spoke to him. Because this was not happened in the past. This is the first time happening. This is also what Arjuna is doing. Dear devotees, hey, pehle nahi hua aisa. This is the only time. This is the only time in the records that Arjuna is being kept in this state. Please understand. This is not like Indra. Sometimes, sometimes he said, sometimes he fights for Parijata with Krishna only. That same Indra is the one who actually gave the name Govinda. When Krishna was 7 years old, lifting Govardhan hill. At that time, he named Krishna as Govinda. And that same Indra, later on, when Krishna was asking Parijata, then he says, I will fight with you, but I will not give you Parijata. Because he was asking for his wife, Satyabhama. He says, no, I will not give. This is Arjuna's state change of consciousness is not like that. Because Arjuna is a pure soul. Indra is not in that category. Please understand. See the difference? Now Arjuna is representing the conditioned state. Representing the conditioned soul. Because conditioned soul is what? Sometimes he is Abu Dabu. Means sometimes he'll practice. Sometimes he says, oh, Krishna is Supreme Personality Godhead. Sometimes he says that my hero, my wife is Supreme Person. Or whatever. You know. This is changing. It's changing. Sometimes his faith is too much. Yes, yes, yes. But sometimes his faith it doesn't have. Sometimes when there is no job, he'll practice. When there is job, he says that I have no time now. Oh, I cannot do hearing. Oh, I cannot chant my round because I have job now. That means what are we giving? We are giving importance to the job, not to Krishna consciousness. That means will Krishna come to us? Please understand. Krishna will not come. Because Krishna, please understand. Their devotees, I'll tell one thing which is very clear. We need to clear this thing in our consciousness fully. Trust me, there is no relationship between the conditioned soul and the Lord. The Lord is completely left us in this material world. He's sitting in our heart as Paramatma, but he'll not respond. Because we are doing whatever we are supposed to do in this world. That means if my mind says, let me do this, if my mind says get up in the morning, we'll get up. If my mind says no, sleep some more time, we'll sleep. If the mind says watch this, we'll watch. If the mind says do this, we'll do. Because mind will never say to chant. Mind sometimes it also tells to chant. Oh, you're chanting? Okay, that's okay. You can watch something and chant. That's okay. There's no problem. You have to just finish your rounds, na. Just finish. Just watch something and then chant your rounds. Hold your cell phone on left hand and then chant with your right hand. What's the problem with that? This is what mind will do. That means, what are all these things? And then I told one thing. What is that one thing is the relationship with the Lord and us is not there. Whatever we have right now, it is actually by the mercy of the Lord. That we did not aspire. Did we ever aspire that, oh Krishna, please come and sit in my heart as Paramatma? Was it our aspiration? No, Krishna only came. That means through that sitting in our heart as Paramatma, he is actually establishing that relation. It is not as we aspire, oh Krishna, please come. I want to see you. We never aspired like that. Because the jiva in this conditioned soul means is lost. It is Lord's mercy that He is coming and sitting in our heart as Paramatma, and He will only respond when we come to pure state, when we aspire for that. Up until that point of time, He'll wait. It might be 1 day, 2 day, 1 year, 2 year, 1 lifetime, 2 lifetime. We don't know, but we have to try. If we give up, then that's it. Just like how we were previously, we will be just like that. And there's not much difference. That means the karma cycle will just go like that. It's no big deal because everyone says that yes, yes, oh, I have so many things to do at this time. I cannot hear, or I cannot read, I cannot do so many things at the same time. Then Krishna will give according to that. That means what is happening? According to our desires, Krishna is fulfilling it. Here, Arjuna, according to his desires only is speaking. Dear devotee, what are all these words coming from Arjuna? These are all the words in accommodating his core principle of what? Not to fight. Why he doesn't want to fight? Obviously, he has attachment. Likewise, exactly the same thing is happening to us. We don't aspire to hear, we don't aspire to read, we don't aspire to take up the science more closely or come to the plane of selflessness because it is us. Nobody. I always think about this. Why? Because spiritual master is always there. He's always available. His services are always available. Then why are we not doing it according to that? Because it is our lack of understanding. It is our lack of submission. It is lack of our surrender. But if we actually see, as Arjuna is a pure soul, right? Now, what is he speaking? He tells, I will not fight. Why? Because he's paraduka dukina. He doesn't want to cause problem to others. See, if Krishna tells, don't fight, and Arjuna is saying, yes, I will not fight, that is devotion. But if Krishna is telling fight, Arjuna is telling not fight, this is where the conflict comes. This is exactly what is happening in this condition state. Because Krishna tells one thing. Krishna says what? Saradharma Pratyajit Mamekam Sharanam Vada. What does the conditioned soul say? I can't do this. I cannot come to that state. Then what Krishna will do? He will wait. He will not force. This is a loving father, na? Dear devotees, the Lord is so loving. He doesn't say that, oh, this bumper offer will gonna expire within 2 days. Please recharge this as soon as possible, or please avail this opportunity. This is a golden opportunity. Black Friday is coming. This is a golden opportunity. You should buy it this day only. After tomorrow, the same price will be double. But Krishna is not like that. If you do not take it, I will not be there. He will be available life after life. That is his commitment. That's what he says. Even though we do not reciprocate. Is this something wonderful yet about it? This is the quality of the Lord. The quality of the pure soul is also like this. Our acharyas, they're always like this. No, nobody was putting a band and then telling every day, oh, Prabhupada, you are great, Prabhupada, you are great, Prabhupada, you are great. No, Prabhupada was just Vrindavan, was alone. Nobody was telling, oh, Prabhupada, you are great, you are this, that, you are so many things. No, 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 no. Likewise, here nobody is actually glorifying the Lord, but Lord is, He personally is staying. He himself is extending. He personally created all of these things. Very, very important. It is Lord who is doing it. Now, when the Jiva realizes this, then he says that, oh my dear Lord, let me do something to you. That something, whatever, whenever we aspire on a pure state, this is bhakti, dear devotees. That is the beginning of devotion. Now, that bhakti, when we water that bhakti through Shravana and Kirtana, then what happens? It becomes sampling. That means what is happening? Your faith is increasing. There are problems. You're not worried of the problems. You're worried I'm missing out on this. Yes, beauty. You're missing out of this. That is a beauty. Please understand. I know so many people they come to Krishna consciousness only to clear out some problems. I've seen many personalities. They come, the moment the problems are cleared, they go. That means what is happening? They're seeing Krishna consciousness also karmakandic activities. Now, what is they doing? It will not benefit either the one. They might say that we are chanting, we might hearing, but that is not hearing and chanting. Because they know na, then they came to the process, they understand. Oh, अभी chanting करे तो भगवत धाम जाएंगे. Okay, okay, chanting करेंगे. Insurance policy. What is that insurance policy? Oh, I'll chant 16 rounds. All of our relative principles. And if I do that, I'll go back on that. It's an insurance. Just like we have health insurance, so life insurance. Now, at least I have that understanding. But that understanding will not invoke the love of God from the heart. Because that is not yet reached that has not yet reached the selfless plan. Please understand. So this fact where Arjuna doesn't want to fight is a reason for that. Doesn't want to put others in trouble. He wants to take trouble on himself. He wants to give up his dharma. He wants to do all things which are against the Kshatriya principles. He wants to do all of those things. Why? Because he doesn't want to put them down. Because they gave him so much. Doesn't want to put them down. But Krishna says, you want to. Krishna says, I want you only. You are the right candidate to do this. Some tuning is required and you'll be great. You're the right candidate. That's why Prabhupada says, whoever has the mentality of Arjuna, actually this is selflessness. Is thinking about other person. Who will think about other person? Nobody will think. Do you see any person? Only Vaishnavas. Who are in a selfless mind, they think about others. Nobody else. Everyone is thinking about themselves only. Because everyone, they have no platform. They have no base here, dear devotees. Everyone are like frustrated. They're like fried off. Now the person will tell this, the secrets of material world. Now this Prabhu, he works very hard. He goes to America. He studies there also. He works in the store, convenience store. He gets some $10 per hour. He pays the college fee. Somehow by hook or crook, he gets some scholarship. And then he completes. And then finally he lands up in the job. At last, after struggles, after 3, 4 years, he's established. And then after that, the parents say that yes, yes, you should get married now. That innocent boy, he thinks that my wife, she'll give me happiness. And then he'll get married to her. And then that innocent girl, she's also thinking that my husband will give happiness to me. And then she says that yes, yes, let us tie a knot. And they both will come together. Initially a few days, they're happy. But after that the struggle began. The husband says that you should do like this. Wife says that you should do like this. Husband says you should not see my cell phone. Wife says that you also should not see my cell phone. Husband says, I can talk to somebody. Wife says, I can also talk to somebody. What is happening? Two personalities, conflict of interest. Through conflict of interest, what is happening? The person who has a conflict is thinking about that person. Through that thinking, what he does is he judges that person. Through that judgment, what is happening? He is finding faults with that person. The moment he begins finding faults with that person, what is happening? The so-called little happiness which he received before, they're all diminished. Because what is happening, dear devotees, you know why the fault finding is coming? Because the person is using the other person for sense gratification. That's why the fault finding mentality began. Because what is happening? You did a karma and then now you are getting a reaction. Now that is on a blunt level, but on a deeper level, what it is the person really want to be the controller independent of the Lord. Because if the person becomes a controller independent of the Lord, what happens is he wants to enjoy this material nature. The moment he begins enjoying this material nature, he's under the grip of this material nature. That's why if you see nobody is happy in this world. You can go and interview thousands of people, you'll get the same answer. No, but you can through this you'll get the realization what Krishna has spoken in Gita. That's why Prabhupada says that you don't have to do research work. Krishna has already done the research for us. Krishna has already given it. Our acharyas have already done the research for us. Prabhupada says that our acharyas have already done the research for us. You just follow their words. Prabhupada says you can't even understand, don't worry, you just follow what I'm saying. Or you can't even understand what I'm saying, you just follow what my followers are telling. That's it. Now, what is this? What is this? A clear indication that how this material nature is working. Everyone is thinking about their happiness. Now, devotees, they also think about happiness. They also want to go to spiritual world. They also want to be happy. They also want to do. But if you actually see, that looks selfish. But if you actually see closely observe, but that is connected to Krishna. That selfishness is good. Now, if you actually see Krishna to protect 5 people, he killed 64 crore people. That's too much actually. 5 is to 64 crore people. Do the calculation ratio. That means for that, just for 5%, which is, if you do a math, 5 by 64 crore people, 64 crore, what is the result? Very small number, insignificant. That means for that, Krishna wants to do so much. Some we cannot understand. That's why it looks Krishna is very partial to Pandavas. Yes, Krishna is partial to his devotees. For sure. भक्तों से मैं सका चेते रहस्यम है तो उत्तम अरे फॉर माय डिवोटी क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा कौन्तेय प्रतिजानत न मे भक्ता प्रणश्य अरे my devotee will never perish idea Arjuna you tell this truth my devotee will never perish अरे dear devotee the moment you hear this How greatest relief to the heart. That means Neha Vikramana Pratyavana, Salpam, if you do little pure devotion in this life, you are protected from greatest calamity. Little Salpam. But the Salpam means you should complete pure. Are Prabhupada says one Nama if you do chant, pure Nama, once, but they do what is that one sure pure Nama is not available for us. We cannot, we cannot get that one pure Nama. It's unimaginable. Now, Arjuna, consciousness was reinstated. That's why he submitted. Now, we cannot proclaim ourselves that, oh, Krishna has to reinstate my consciousness. Then only I'll surrender. Up until that point of time, I'll not surrender. Krishna will never reinstate our consciousness because Arjuna has a relationship with the Lord. Our relationship is last devotees. The spiritual master, the acharyas, they come into our life and then they re-establish that relationship. They only will re-establish. Otherwise, because our relationship is already lost. Please understand, the relationship is already there. You would have been gone to the spiritual world there and there itself. You go, you come to Brahmaloka, and then immediately you understand, "Hare, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? There is no Krishna." You immediately go. The relationship is there. But you felt, no, Krishna, you hold on, I'll come, I'll come. And Krishna says, yes, yes, I will hold on for you. The position is there. I'll hold on for you. That hold on is extending millions and millions and millions of lifetimes. That is why it is there. It is called as conditioned soul. Why Prabhupada named this as conditioned soul? It's not like, oh, this is a good word to use. Let me use this. No, 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 no. Conditioned soul means conditioning. It's conditioned. For example, if you see the children, if you give them the glass of water, if you give them just the glass, then they'll play with the glass. Immediately after this, if you show something else, which is far more attractive, then they'll leave the glass and then they'll go to that. Exactly what is happening in the conditioned soul's consciousness. He'll try to find some happiness through he will do hiking 1 week. Next week he'll do kayaking. Wow, wow. Next week he'll take his wife also to that. Next week he'll do something else. What is he doing? He's changing. He's not sticking to one thing. Because there's no उसमें कुछ टेस्ट ही नहीं है ना अंदर जाने का क्या है उसमें there is nothing which where you go deeper in that. That means in one thing you can't do continuously. You see cricket players they retire after a few years. It's very interesting. I was just thinking about that. When we used to watch when we were in college, at those days Sachin was there, Dravid, Ganguly, Kumble, Zahir Khan, big personalities were there. Oh, and if I go and see the Indian team cricket players, no, but it's all fresh faces. There's no Sachin, there's no Ganguly, there's no Dravid. Nobody's there now. It's all gone. What happened? What happened? They should continue, na? Parampara has to continue. Why that is there? It's a clear indication that in the material world, what you see is not what you're actually seeing after that. That means technically what you're seeing is all illusion. That's what Arjuna will realize later. He says that there is a problem for my grief. No, Krishna, you dissipate that problem. Please correct my problem. Please show me where the consciousness has to be changed. Then Krishna speaks about principles of Gita. You see why principles of Gita is coming? Just to satisfy Arjuna. That means Lord is ready to do anything, right? He wants to give anything to please his pure devotee, to satisfy his problems in the heart. Please understand this, dear devotees. If the Lord wants to satisfy the heart of Arjuna, doesn't he satisfy our heart? Govinda is what? Govinda means one who gives pleasure to the senses. That means we have senses. That means that Govinda will give pleasure to the senses. That means I don't have to use the senses for sense gratification on a material plane, but the senses can be used in the transcendental plane. Through smarana, through Shravana, through Varana, through Kirtana, through Padasevana, through Atma Nivedana. You're Atma Nivedana. You're submitting yourself fully. When we do that, what happens? Lord, this transcendental, I use mercy. You'll feel His presence. You'll not feel dejected anywhere else. Because what is happening? The real thing is what? This, na? No, Arjuna will realize that. But at this particular moment, what is he saying? Oh, if I get this property also, to whom I will show? To whom I will show? There's nobody. Everyone will be died. Then why do I want this property? I don't want this property, Krishna. It's like Prabhupada here explains. It looks like a child play. It looks like complete material. This is typical calculation of material life. क्या मिलेगा मुझे क्या मिलेगा और if I change my job what do I get? Do I get 20% hike at the new place? It's material consciousness. Through this material consciousness, what is happening? We are missing out from the absolute truth. But if you see through the life of Srila Prabhupada, repeat all. He actually hankered for all of us to give this holy name. He actually hankered everything. Because he is getting that ananda, he is getting that bliss, he is getting that taste, and he wanted to give that. Please take, please take, please take this. I am experiencing, you will also experience. Just like Haridas Thakur, 21 marketplaces, he has been beaten up. And then after that, he says, yes, 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 yes. See, you are beating me, that's okay, I am ready to accept. But please chant Hare Krishna. Please accept the process. This will benefit you. See, that persons who are beating, for them also is telling this. Now, the same Haridas Thakur, when he was running, when Nityananda Prabhu says, let us go to Jagai and Mother. Are is running only to see, only to show this world the glories of Lord Nityananda, not for anything else, not that is fearful. Haridas Thakur Maharaj is not fearful, that's why he is running. He says, Nityananda, no, Nityananda will not come. Because you are going to all these deadly places. You are going to the places where people drink wine. You are going to all of these places? No, I will not come. I'm fearful. I cannot come. You go. You always put me in trouble. No, he stopped only to show the glories of Lord Nityananda. That is a beautiful reason actually. See, this is personalism, na? That means the other person should be glorified. The other person's, his glory should be expounded. Me? Me. When Krishna was in the midst of his devotees, all the devotees were like glorifying the Lord. They're playing nice music. They're using nice instruments to please the Lord. They're in the forest very beautifully, having loving exchanges. And then all of a sudden a bumblebee comes in between. And then everyone would stop. Now Krishna was looking towards that bumblebee, and then the bumblebee started singing Krishna, 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 Ram, 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 dear. It was buzzing, buzzing, buzzing in a beautiful, Haroan, transcendental way. Everybody was so happy. Krishna was also very pleased with that. You know that bumblebee didn't have any instrument, but through her way, it wanted to please the Lord, and the Lord was very happy with that. This is what exactly Vaishnavas would do because they don't want to, they always see the well being of the other person. They do not hanker for their own thing. Remember, spiritual master also exactly manifesting this. He says that, oh, what will I do after going to the spiritual world? I think I'm not qualified to go there. But whoever comes to my association, I want to send all of them to the spiritual world, to Goloka. Because our batch is Goloka batch. Because it's selfless plane, na? It's selfless consciousness. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu likes this. Because dear devotees, when we feel their presence, then we come to that state. That's what I was telling, right? Surrender is a joyful process. It's not like it's like a handcuff. It's not like police says that, oh, freeze, then we raise our hand. This surrender is not that kind of surrender. The surrender which we are, the surrender which Arjuna is doing, the surrender which all the pure souls are doing, the surrender which Srila Prabhupada did, the surrender which his followers are doing, senior Vaishnavas, the surrender which they are doing, this is not that kind of a surrender where they are doing out of fear. A lot of people have this false notion, especially in Krishna consciousness. They think that oh, surrender means you have to give up everything. That means I have to lose so many things. That means there's all loss here. There's no gain here. That is not surrender actually. You're thinking on a duality base. That's not surrender actually. Surrender means free from dualism. Oh, what is my profit? What is my loss? If I'm giving this money, what will I gain? If I'm doing this, what will I get? Or if I'm working like this, what will I get benefit? If I quit my job, what will I get? Will they put me in big position? Will they give me big position? Oh, I gave up everything and then they're asking me to clean the bathrooms. What is this? This is dualism. What is this dualism? This dualism, what it will do, it will actually create frustration in our Krishna consciousness, and then we don't get realization, but we get frustrations. And then through that frustration, we say, oh, this person came into my life, he spoiled, ruined my entire life. He is the cheater. That means we blame Vaishnavas only. That is the first offense. That means we never understand what Krishna consciousness is. That's why surrender is a joyful, it's a loving process. And Krishna has expectation from every person in this state. Very important. Very, very important. Here, Arjuna, if you see, Arjuna is saying here, na, oh Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, father-in-law, grandsons, brother-in-law, and other relatives are all ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, why should I wish to kill them? Even though they might otherwise kill me. That means even he's ready to give up his body. He's ready to give up his life. He's ready to give up everything. And he's telling, no, they're all my relatives. Now, how can I do this? That looks like a it looks like an anartha. That looks like a problem, but that is not a problem. That is actually his heart. It is because he's feeling that relation with them. Remember, we discussed about this yesterday, right? He could have remembered so many things. What Duryodhana did, what negative dear devotees. I'll tell this. Please be careful with this. Our mind will always find faults with others. Always. That is the default. The mind will always find faults. That means internally the thoughts will run like that only. No one is exception in that. But where are we checking? Where are we protected? Is the intelligence which we gained through the process of Shravana. Through that Shravana, what is happening is we check that. Oh, this is not right. I shouldn't do it. Oh, this is right. I should do this. This is incorrect. I cannot do this. It means what are you doing? The thoughts which are coming in the heart. Some you are ignoring, some you are doing it. Some you are ignoring, some you are doing. Whatever you are ignoring, whatever you are doing is based on whatever association you have taken. Because if an association is right, for example, if I'm watching some TV, some YouTube or this, that, some nonsense in the previous day, then the next day the rounds will be different. Our associating with people will be different. We become more impersonal. The personal relationship is not there. So many unwanted things are there. Because what we did, because that's what that kind of association we have taken. That means his mind is always cheating. That's why Arjuna says, Aryo, kya hai? What is this? Why this mind is always like this? How do I deal with this? This is what you will ask. So Arjuna is clearly showing, no, 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 no. See, what is he doing? He's giving importance to relationship. Even though that relation is not a fruitful relation. They were like, oh, they are glorifying Arjuna so much. Do you see anyone glorifying Arjuna? Do you see any Kauravas or anyone from the party of Duryodhana? Are they glorifying Arjuna? No, they are defaming. They have so much envious feeling. Still, Arjuna doesn't want to kill them. See, it's a great thing actually. You will not find persons like Arjuna now. That's why he is a source to hear. That's why nobody will understand. I remember our spiritual master telling, nobody can understand Gita. Prabhupada also explaining. He says nobody can understand Gita. Why? Because everyone is seeing on a false plane only. No one can understand Gita. Who can understand Gita? Nobody can understand. Because everyone he is actually hankering or engaging in so many materialistic activities. If a person is engaged in the materialistic activities and then if he reads Bhagavad Gita, what he'll understand none. It's like a human being do not eat stool. Or a pig knows the taste of the stool, but we don't know the taste. We never ate that. That is far away from us. That is not our belonging. Likewise, this material nature is also like that. It is far. अरे we do not have any connection with that. Out of our so-called thing, we are thinking that we have a connection with that. But to be honest with you, we do not have any connection with that. It's totally in a different state. That's why if you actually see Prabhupada, no matter how many difficulties are coming in his life, or no matter what is happening in his life, he is focused. Vyavasatmika buddhi is full. Is receiving the mercy continuously because that is his state. His consciousness is that. His mentality, his thought process, his dealings with everyone is that. He is dealing with everyone in such a way that I'm dealing with Krishna only. Please understand. This is a big statement actually. We should uh, we should follow this nicely. Maybe I'm talking to myself. It's important. Dear devotees, the consciousness is all matters. With Arjuna is seeing here, he's seeing by keeping Krishna aside. That means Krishna is there. That means the moment Krishna is aside, what happens? Material plane. That means what is through what he's seeing? He's seeing through illusory state. You see, sometimes we get frustrated. अरे यार क्या किधर फंस गया मैं? What family, husband, wife, what children? किधर फंस गया मैं? It's difficult. Oh, what is this office? What is this job? किधर गया मैं? Where did I made the mistake? A lot of people will get this intro. Not if the person is really inquiring, he'll get this. अरे किधर फंस गया मैं? Because what is happening is you're keeping Krishna aside. We're dealing with his energy. His energy will bewilder us. It will bewilder us. It's like Arjuna is bewildered now. It will bewilder us. It is actually bewildering life after life. Do you see dear devotees? The mind will also tell, will always tell you, do this, you'll be happy. And after doing that, we will not be happy. The mind will say, "Oh, it's okay, you can sleep little later, little late." Mind will tell, it's okay, 10 more minutes. It's okay. Dear devotees, this goes with the children also. That means you have to not just deal with your mind, you have to deal with the minds of your children. You have to deal with the mind of the spouses. You have to deal with minds of anyone else who's there at home. That means you have to deal with all of them. That means please understand how much consciousness which we need to contain. That's why a lot of people they ignore these relations because it is difficult actually to touch the other person. It's not easy in this world. You should not ignore because Arjuna is actually working for those relatives only. Please understand. That means please see here he is giving importance to relationship, but what is impersonalism? Oh, there is no relationship here. You see how foolishness is this? On one side, pure soul Arjuna is telling is giving importance to his grandfather. That means he's feeling them as a person. But what is impersonal? School of impersonalism. There's no relation. You just meditate, you'll become one. What is this? All foolishness. Even in Krishna consciousness, when we don't give importance to the relationship, we cannot understand Krishna consciousness. अरे प्रॉब्लम ही रिलेशनशिप में आया. The problem came through relationship only. Because Krishna showed Bhishmadev. It's a relation. Through that only he spoke entire Gita. That's why I remember my spiritual master. He will see the personalities and then through them only he'll speak Gita. He's a very practical man. Through relations he tells everything. He tells so much. He'll tell Bhagavatam, he'll tell Bhagavad Gita, he'll tell Mahabharata, he'll tell Ramayana, everything he'll tell. What is that? This is because he stays with at his home, 20 people will be there, dear devotees. There are 2 floors. There's 20 children in his home. He is there, wife, son, and then so many children. Because they're all practicing Krishna consciousness under his direction. At home also. That means he's dealing with small children also. That means he is among themselves only, but he's not among themselves. It's not easy. Please understand. See, if you're renunciate, then you don't associate. But please, this is more powerful actually. Because you are there among themselves, you are there among themselves, and then you're speaking Krishna consciousness. Please understand. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. Nobody wants relations. Tyaga. Everyone wants to give up those relations. But having those relations, understanding them. Because when you understand them, you're understanding the mentality. That means through that mentality, you are seeing Gita only. You're not seeing anything else. We are seeing our mentality also. We are seeing our consciousness because our heart, how is our heart is reacting with the other person? We are there with them. Sometimes it becomes very difficult. That's why I keep quiet. Because that's the only solution I see. But if keeping quiet also sometimes is not helping. So it's important. We should be dependent. We should be dependful. Read this shloka again. You see, oh Madhusudana, teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, relatives, they're all ready to give up their lives. Why should I wish to kill them? Even though they want to kill me. That means how much importance is given to the other person. Please see here. It's not easy. Now Krishna says that is assertion, Anvashasasam, Pragnavadan Savasas. Is actually Krishna is chastising left and right. Arjuna. Why are you holding this mere weakness in the heart? Krishna is using big, big words. But it all began through relationship problem. What is Gita? To address relationship problems. Hare Krishna. That is Gita. To address the relationship problem, the person, the head of the household, should become selfless. The husband and wife, they both become selfless. Then what was that's good for the family? It's important. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming. He will ask, where is your selflessness? He'll ask. Now, dhanam na janam na sundaram kavita. Where is that? Kavitam vajagat. Trinadapasanichan. Where is that? He'll ask as a loving father. Not harshly, softly. Because he knows if he asks harshly, then we will run away from the process. So they will ask softly. TK. Dhire dhire come. Slowly, slowly. But develop, aspire for this consciousness. It's very important. I'll stop here. I think Sheila so asked one question. Shishilpa Mataji was also asking one question. But if any questions are there, we'll try to address that. And after this, we'll try to cover this. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Prabhuji,
Yes, Amma.
may I share some realization, Prabhuji?
Please tell.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving us every day the nectar. So, Prabhuji, as we discussed about this Anartha Nibritti few days ago, so as you mentioned about Srila Prabhupada and his devotion, so Prabhuji, like to share from a senior devotee what I heard from that Anartha Nibritti. Yes, we have to work on Anartha Nibritti as well as artha supposed to come to. So, as so the Prabhupada is the example who had this anartha nibritti as well as artha prabritti, and means that relationship what you discussed today. So that's what I just would like to share, Prabhuji, that um, now, Arjuna, as you mentioned, that Arjuna was conditioned. So that's why he did not realize the relationship. So this Artha Prabritti means love for Krishna. Why Mahaprabhu is coming, and Mahaprabhu with very politely discussed to the Mayavadis impersonalist in Varanasi, Prakashananda Saraswati, to Prakashananda Saraswati and all the impersonalists about step by step, and the Lord convinced to them with very polite way, and because he came here in this Kali Yuga to give the love for Krishna. So that's why, Prabhuji, I just would like to, from myself, like as I'm hearing every day from you and senior devotees, and I should apply all those teachings. Otherwise, it will not go into my heart. And what I feel like, as Mahaprabhu says, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, with doing service, I have to do service simultaneously after hearing. And through service, I will purify myself, and it will help me build the relationship, Prabhuji. And like, as for example, I have my Gaur Nitai, and I try to please them as much as I can through gurus, and but still I have like feelings like I'm not able to do, and I should do more service to them, to please Guru. But this desire maybe someday will help me to please them more, and Krishna definitely, as I have the desire, Krishna definitely will give me more time and more deeper realization. But with this practice, Prabhuji, it's very important. So I feel like with hearing I have to do more service, and that way I can strengthen my relationship with acharyas, with gurus, with spiritual master. That's my realization, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Service, service factor is very important. When the consciousness is purified, sadhaka will always aspire. Even the consciousness is not purified, still the sadhaka aspires to do service, because through service only the relationship is intensified. Krishna also reiterates the same thing to Arjuna. Srila Prabhupada, all the acharyas, pure souls, they do that. The life and soul is that to serve, and to serve. Because through that service only, one is actually using this valuable human form of life. Because the service factor is missing, then it will become passive. An active participation has to happen, means service factor has to be inculcated. It's very important. Now we need to ask what service we can do. So if you're ready, then they will tell, do this service, do that. It's good for you. And if you do it, then that's great. I remember I was asking my spiritual master, my instructing spiritual master, I went to him after completing Vrindavan Yatra. I said, is there any service which I can do you, which I can do to you, which is pleasing you? And he said, you do this service, preaching the science of Krishna consciousness. Yeah, that's how it all began. So it is important. So we should have. And when I first met him, he also told me one service to do, which I did it. Then later on, when I asked a couple of years back, he told the service which I'm doing right now. Should you continue this? Because this will better benefit you. This will help you to deepen Krishna consciousness. Because what happens is through the service, we get an opportunity to think, we get an opportunity to deal situations, we get an opportunity to understand the circumstances we deal with, we discuss with the devotees, we try to help them in their problems, in their issues. Through that, what is happening, we are depending more on the spiritual world, because we are actively seeing their presence in the life. That is relationship actually. So we should have that kind of persons in our life. And then through that, what happens is our relationship with the Lord is established. Because you remember the discussion which I began today is our relationship with the Lord is all lost. It's completely lost.
Yeah.
So spiritual master, when he comes, then they would establish that relation through sikshana, through diksha, through siksha. So that sikshana when we take is very important for us. Because for example, if I have taken diksha, but there's no shiksha, it means I'm not understanding what is the importance of that diksha. I need to understand the importance of diksha. I need to understand the importance of relation. Because through that only, for that to I need in order to understand the relation, I need to understand the shiksha. Through that shiksha, we'll be able to move forward. And then we'll understand the purpose of the life is this. I don't want to waste time. This is my business. This is what I have to do. This is what we'll be doing. So this is how the relationship is more and more intensified. That's so. Then at that moment in service, we will not have any questions. We'll have questions. That asking that questions also will intensify the relation. But when the service is deepened, then what happens? The questions will come. The answers will also come. The service. That's important. So, in a very practical sense, pranipatena pariprushnena sevaya. That sevaya has to be established. That is established. Then that means we have an astra, which is a which will actually protect us from this material nature. That astra has is required, is important. Because through that astra we get qualities. Yasyasta bhakti bhagavata kinchana sarva gunas tatra samastu surya. That means through unalloyed devotion, what happens is you get all the good qualities. And you'll realize that good qualities are actually manifestation of the service given to me by my spiritual master. That means you are indebted to them. That is great, actually. That is what exactly is happening in the spiritual world. I remember this is a reflection. When we have a good relationship with one spiritual master, what happens is active relationship with them. What happens is we'll actually experience the relations which are there in the spiritual world. Then for you, the spiritual world is not something which is not there. Just like that Christian preacher, he's preaching, but he doesn't believe that because he's not convinced with that. But for sure, through the relationship, what is happening is I'm seeing how the relationship in the spiritual world will be. Because in the spiritual world, they'll tell a service and then they'll go. This is what exactly happens. And then that person will do that. And later on, they come. Is it done? It's done. Even they will not even ask. Through that eye glances only, they'll realize it's done. Are they happy? Yes, yes, they're happy. That's what happens. One manjari selling to another manjari. And then they see that manifestation. They say that, oh, Radha and Krishna are coming, let us do some service. They do it. Let us bring this, let us bring that. They do it. It's a service. What are they doing? They're very submissive to that. It's a service. It's a service. That means in that service, it should be very honest, actually. Very honest. That's how it will manifest. So find that kind of a person in your life. And then through that, establish a relation, do that service, become perfected, perfect this life, go back on that. That is your business. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for going deep into Bhagavad Gita and just examining the mind of Arjuna. Prabhuji, my question is, we have read in Bhagavatam that Prithu Maharaj, he was doing many Ashwamedha sacrifices, and Indra was taking the horse away. And then finally, he was trying to finally fight Indra. Then Lord Brahma came and said, "No, don't fight. This is enough." So he was giving the message of peace to him. And we also know Dhruva Maharaj. He was fighting the yakshas, and and uh, and Swayambhuva Manu came and said, "Don't. No, you're trying to avenge your brother Uttama's death, but you're killing too much. Stop." So he stopped listening. So in this case, Arjuna is willing to forgive everyone, and he is thinking that even though my wife was disrobed, and this um, Dronacharya and Bhishma, they were all there and they couldn't stop it. And he's not thinking about any of that. He's forgiving all of them and wanting not to fight. So until he posed his situation and told Krishna he's not going to fight, he didn't know that Krishna really wanted the fight, right? Um, so only once Krishna revealed that you have to fight, then he finally took up. So how so he had to get the instruction before he started to fight again. So at this position where Arjuna is saying he doesn't want to fight, he doesn't know if the Lord wants him to fight or doesn't want him to fight. Is that true, or he
No,
already?
actually, they came to the battle to fight only.
Hmm.
He knows already that he has to fight. It's a
Okay.
plan. Krishna tells Arjuna, you have to fight. It's a planned fight only. That's why everyone are coming. It's a clear indication. That means he's going, that he has to fight. He is a Kshatriya, he has to fight. Krishna personally became his charioteer. That means they are using the chariot. They use the chariot only to fight. It means Arjuna is taking his Gandiva, bow, arrow. He took everything just to fight only. No? So it's a clear understanding that they both came to fight only. So Arjuna is aware that he has to fight. But the situation in which he's been kept, he couldn't fight it. He couldn't agree to that. That is the whole reason. If you actually see the previous verses which we discussed, where Arjuna is telling, Krishna, can you please take me to the center of the battlefield? I want to see who came to fight. That means to fight only. Senaya Rupya Madhya Radham Stapitam Achyuta. He's telling Arjuna, Achyuta, oh my dear Achyuta. He's using the word Achyuta here because Krishna he never falls down. That's why if you actually see, Arjuna is very intelligent person. He is actually using the word Achyuta at that particular moment because that is a moment to fight. Because he's representing Krishna that you cannot fall down. And I am asking you as Achyuta, you take me to the center. Because because I am coming because you are coming. Because Arjuna actually came because Krishna came. Because Krishna instructed. This is friend na. Arjuna follows the words of the Lord. That means in friendship there is submission also. In friendship there is service attitude also. Friendship is a higher relationship. In friendship there is shanta also. There is acceptance also. That means through that relationship all of these things are there. That means Arjuna is in full picture. He has full clarity that he has to fight. But now according to that situation, he did not agree. That is the reason of his grief in his heart. Because he wanted to fight, but he's unable to fight because of his situations and circumstances. Just like your father telling you, can you do this to me? You wanted to do it, but through the situation, you cannot do it. For example, your father is asking you to come to India. You wanted to come, but the situation came. Immediately there is a meeting or there is a big assignment where you say, my dear father, I can't come at this particular moment because I'm in a difficult state. But you want to do. Likewise, Arjuna also wanted to fight, but is kept in a difficult state. Just like you are kept in the project, he's kept in a family relationship issue. That is what exactly is happening. Making sense, bro?
Yes, thank you.
It's a very clear thing. It's beautiful, actually. Bhagavad Gita, the first chapter reveals everything, actually. it actually establishes, sets that mood that doing this is the best. It's very important. Again, to your question which you asked yesterday, Vishnu Tattva is a Tattva. Yes, no doubt, it's an expansion of the Lord, but Vishnu Tattva directly doesn't serve the Lord. It's the Lord's expansion. And that Vishnu Tattva has the has another service of serving. Because if you actually say who is Vishnu, Vishnu means who goes on the street on the job. This is on the job manifestation of the Lord. For example, if the father is at home, he's Krishna. If the father goes to work, he's Vishnu. Same person only. If the father is at home, is Krishna. That means he has all his family members. He deals with everyone. That is Vrindavan consciousness. That is Vrindavan setup. But when he goes on the work, that is Vishnu. He manifests himself as Vishnu. That means what is he doing? He's doing duty. Duty of what? Maintaining the universe. That means whoever comes to him with what attitude they come to him? Through awe and reverence. Because he's working now. At office, how the person will respond? At office, a person will respond as yes, sir. Police officer comes to the office, yes, sir. Good morning, sir. They say, awe and reverence. But the same police officer who's at the home, his grandson will sit on his shoulder, and then he'll crawl, he'll play. It's the same person. At the office, yes, sir. But here, it's a different state. So that crawling and everything, that's Krishna. Same. Vishnu is also same, but it's the expansion of the Lord. But the root of Vishnu is Krishna. Lord is already at home. So that Vishnu Tattva is another separate manifestation where he accepts the service from his devotees who come from Sri Sampradaya. Though those personalities are go to. That's why Srila Prabhupada says one should worship the Lord Radha Vrindavan Chandra in awe and reverence. Just like the Sri Vaishnavas are worshipping through awe and reverence. Slowly, that awe and reverence, when that is intensified, our relationship will be revealed with the Lord. But that relationship will be revealed only when we come to one certain state. That means we have to cross some certain hurdles. Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti. And then through this, intensified qualities have to come in the consciousness. Being non-envious, selflessness, compassionate, surrender, all these things should manifest. Then the Ruchi, Asakti is Sthai, Bhava Sthai. Then Prema towards the Lord. Through that Prema, you'll actually understand the natural relationship which we have with the Lord in the spiritual world. Lot of details, right? There's a lot of details are there.
Prabhuji, yes. So thank you for differentiating between Vishnu and Krishna. But when I was saying Vishnu Tattva, I was actually just referring to the internal energy. So my question was, there's internal energy, marginal energy, and external energy, and we are marginal energy.
Right.
And all Krishna's expansion are internal energy. So Radharani, gopis. So we as marginal energy, we can associate either with internal energy or his external energy.
External energy, yes.
So because jivas are so vulnerable, they can either take both, but there is no vulnerability for internal energy. So for Radharani, gopis, they're always they're the expansion of the Lord, and they can never fall down. But humans or jivas, they can fall. They're nitya baddha, nitya siddha. They can. There's a possibility of them doing anarthas and falling down. So my point is, or my question is, isn't it like a higher level for a jiva to become a pure devotee than like Krishna? He can do all the leelas and he can be totally perfect. But jivas, since they are vulnerable, and if they are able to get over their vulnerability and focus on Krishna, isn't that a higher stage than the internal energy?
Basically, this it's an interesting point actually. So, thank you for that because you said Vishnu Tattva as referring
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
the
Yes, Prabhuji.
expansions of the Lord. So now the question is much more clear. So,
Yeah.
Prabhu, yes, we are part of the Jiva Shakti. We're actually seeing the picture Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, Advaita Acharya, Gadadhara, Shivashari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of God. And Nityananda is all the expansions of the Lord. He represents that. Advaita Acharya is the expansions of the expansions. Is an expansion of Vishnu. That means all Vishnu Tattvas and all the potencies or external energy, all the expansions of the Lord. All those things like Leela avatars, Guna avatars, Purusha avatars, all the manifestation is coming from, Advaita Acharya. And then there is Gadadhar. He is the expansion of Srimati Radharani, right? There's the internal energy side, right? And then there is Shiva side, there's Jiva Shakti, right? That Jiva Shakti, we come from Shiva Shari, right? That Jiva Shakti is a manifest, that Jiva Shakti which we are seeing here, we are all part of that. Dear devotees, here one thing you need to understand. Remember, spiritual master telling this among the conversation between Prahlad Maharaj and Narsimhadev. It's a beautiful conversation which comes in Bhagavatam. And then Prahlad Maharaj says, now what is my qualification to actually receive mercy from you? Because if you actually see, Prahlad Maharaj did not do big things. Just like Lord Vishnu is doing, just like Brahmaji is doing. He's not doing all those big things. But as a jiva, what is he doing? He's just responding. That means to his situations and circumstances, he's responding. That what is he doing? At every moment, he's responding. That means through his response, only Lord was pleased. That means as a jiva, Prahlad Maharaj, he did not create a universe, or he did not create he did not receive the powers of like Lord Shiva to dissolve everything, right? Which represents Advaita Acharya. He does that, right? So that he is not there. But what is he doing? He is just looking towards the Lord. That is what he is doing. That means the Jiva doesn't have to do much. Just the moment he responds himself to the presence of the Lord, that itself is the greatest benediction. That means this doesn't represent that the Jiva will become Gadadhara. Jiva is always Jiva. His plane, Gadadhar plane is different. Jiva's plane is different. So that means the Jiva will not become to that state. Jiva is always Jiva. But if you actually see, the way Lord is responding to the Jiva is, you should see that actually. We are minute part and parcel actually. Our internal energy, Srimati Radharani, she is like, we can't even understand what her energy is. That's totally on a different state because the Jiva cannot become that. Jiva is always Jiva. First, we need to have that clarity. So, if you actually see what is the important aspect is the Lord is responding to that Jiva. Krishna is telling, Mame Vamsa Jiva Loke. That's all this conversation can. Because Lord is actually responding to the Jiva, even though the Jiva is left out. But the Lord is responding to the Jiva because Jiva wants to reciprocate to the Lord. That means Jiva wants to respond to the Lord. Now it's a reciprocation from the Lord. Just like Prahlad Maharaj, he wants to respond to the Lord. Through that response, only, he did not do any big things. He did not lift the mountain. He did not do any of those things. But he, smarana. He's just responding to the Lord through his smarana. He's accepting. He has complete faith and conviction. He's actually seeing the Lord everywhere, actually. Bhagavatam also tells that. Before that, before Narsimhadev came, Prahlad Maharaj's consciousness is what? He's actually seeing Lord everywhere. That means Lord is so pleased with that only. He empowers that Jiva, the Jiva Shakti. That's why it is Jiva Shakti. Just in fact, please understand the tiny part and parcel responding to the Lord. Lord is taking him and keeping him, giving him the greatest position in the spiritual world. That is the magnanimity of the Lord. Then when the Jiva goes to the spiritual realm, through that, because Jiva also has a relationship with the Lord. Just like Srimati Radharani, all the gopis, manjaris, the Jiva who is here, who is left out, he also has a relationship with the Lord. Please understand, this Jiva is being kept in that state and given that greatest association of the internal energy. Because the entire thing has been run by Tulsi Maharani. She is the powerhouse of the internal energy. She does all of those things. Now, Lord will forget his godhood, putting complete trust and faith on Tulsi Maharani. That means see how much service Lord has given to her. If you actually see, Lord will actually forget his godhood. Srimati Radharani will forget everything. Balramji will forget everything. They will just play like they're playing. Then it's not like they're actually playing. In that state, Jiva will kept. Please understand. So, what is the greatest fortune? This is being given by Lord Chaitanya. So, greatest fortune. If you actually see, this is open only through the doors of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his followers. Through the doors of for us, through the doors of Srila Prabhupada and his followers. That is the only way for us. That means you remember last year also I discussed this. We are seeing the Krishna, we are seeing Srila Prabhupada's Krishna. Who is the Srila Prabhupada's Krishna? That is the Goloka Krishna. There is one Krishna in Vaikuntha also, with awe and reverence. But this Krishna which we are referring is Srila Prabhupada's Krishna. That means, see, please understand. That means the Jiva is being given the greatest position. You cannot even understand it. That means those personalities, as you said, as you well said, Srimati Radharani, they represent the internal energy. Balramji, they represent their exalted personality. They come and associate with us, just like Jiva, the small Jiva, through that little thing which we did. What that little thing which we are doing? We are following the words of Srila Prabhupada. When we follow his words, they are giving that greatest thing. This is like if you purchase a share for 1 rupee, that share is becoming 1 crore. It's like that. Let's say you purchase like 1,000 shares. You invested 1,000 rupees. You purchase one share is you purchase 1,000 units. One share is 1 rupee. That one share is becoming 1 crore. That is a power pack mercy of Chaitanya. Please understand, this Jiva has been given that position. He cannot understand actually. This Jiva has been given this position before only, not now. This position was already there before. You have forgotten, that is our problem. See how much misfortune. We're so small things, we catch hold on small things. You see our friends telling, right? 10 years back, you did not call me. 15 years back, you did not call me. What means, what is that? It is not that they're picking on that. They anchor for the relation. Please understand. That's why they're remembering. Because they feel that relation. That's why they say, why you did not call me? That means that they are also part and parcel of the Lord because they feel that relationship with the Lord. They're missing. They're seeing that relation through you. They're saying that they're feeling that you are Krishna. They don't feel that you are Krishna, but that perverted, na? They're expecting some relation here in this material realm. And then in this material realm, they're seeing through us. That means they're looking happiness through us. This is what exactly is happening in this material world. The same relationship is there here also. See, Arjuna coming to that state through relationship only. But that relationship is separated out. That's why we are in grief. That is the whole point. Now, the moment we understand this, what happens is we turn towards it. No matter we have difficulties, no matter we have problems. I'll tell one more thing. Our problems have nothing to do anything with devotion. वो ये वो ट्रैक में चलते ही रहेगा. ये ट्रैक में इसको चलते जाना है. Because that's not in our control. For example, if your child is not listening, today my daughter was not listening. I was just thinking like this. She's not listening, that's true. I can't control her. Only Krishna can control. Only His mercy can control. But what, from my side, what I have to do, I should do that. Controlling and not controlling, it's in the hands of the Lord. If there's a problem, that's okay, it will continue. Anyhow, what is the biggest problem? Birth after birth, we are here. What is this problem? Small problem. Anyhow, we are in problem. Another problem. That's okay. I'll agree. But this I will not leave. I'll give full importance to this. This definitely I'll not leave. Please understand why these personalities have to come. Panchatattva. They are my favorites actually. My spiritual master, Panchatattva, they are favorites. Why they have to come for us? Please understand. Just think once. Why they have to come for us? Why Advaita Acharya has to pray for us? That's their love. They want to take all of us. That's why whoever are in that relationship, they will come. And they'll finish the business and then go back. Now, whoever don't feel that relation, they'll not come. If you actually see when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, nobody knows Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Supreme Personality. Only a few people. Only whoever is feeling that relationship, they will understand. Others will not understand. Likewise, one should accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should accept Lord Chaitanya as none different than Krishna. One should accept following the words of Srila Prabhupada. One will actually go back and back to Godhead. If these three things are manifested, life is perfected. That means whatever Srila Prabhupada says, we should follow. Everything. Not half and half. See, half cooked is good. Do you eat half cooked foods? It's not food, it's Mahaprasad. Do you eat half cooked Mahaprasad? We cannot offer to the Lord half cooked prasad, half cooked bhoga. We don't do that. We fully cook it. Then we accept. It's the greatest mercy. And please understand, the doors to Goloka is only open now, not after. Abhi open hai. It is open now only. For us, it is open now only. Because we don't know when we will get another human form of life. No idea. If this life is gone, it's gone. That's how we should see. So our business is now. Now see the Jiva. Please understand, the Jiva doesn't have to do anything. He has to turn towards the Lord. Look at, see the faith of Prahlad Maharaj. Complete faith. See the faith of Pandavas. Complete faith. So much problems. But they're not complaining. I don't want to complain to my spiritual master my problems. Because they're pity. This is pity. What is the real problem? Janma Mukti Charya. Anyhow, we are in that cycle. Anyhow, please understand. Anyhow, we are in that cycle. So it's the small problems which we have right now. It's very small actually. So we should depend on the Lord. Understand the situation. Yes, the marginal Shakti, the marginal potency is powerful, very powerful force to stay in the internal energy. That's what we should feel actually. I remember when I wrote my first letter to my spiritual master, he responded. He said, "All of this which you have written, it depends on how much free will you are using in alliance to the internal energy of the Lord." Once I was uh, once I was speaking after the class, responding to what he said. He said one thing, Nilgovinda, you're speaking, but you should act also. Okay. It's a jolt for me. That means a father should be very compassionate to tell that. Say, oh, it's true. Should act also. Then after 2 years, after 3 years, then I asked the service. He said, "You do this service," because he somehow felt that I will come. I'm by His mercy only. I'm following, and he felt that through that mercy, I will follow more. That's why, yeah. So it's important for all of us. We should understand the truth as is. Please understand, the jiva is always jiva. Jiva cannot become Lord. Jiva is always jiva. Jiva cannot become. Uh, the jiva position will not be changed. Jiva position is always jiva. He stopped responding, then again he'll come to the material plane. That means please understand how much relationship we have to develop with the Lord. That relationship is given to us by the spiritual master. That's why we respect them very with awe and reverence. You might not know, you might be having a relationship in the spiritual world with your spiritual master also. It's not. It's true. I'm not just saying. It's a fact actually. I remember once my spiritual master sharing when he went and met his spiritual master for the first time. He immediately said, "This is not the first time we are meeting, but it was a long time meeting you again." That's what he said. He will not tell this to anyone. He'll tell only to certain people. And they really feel the presence. Just like you're meeting your school friend, and you'll tell, you're meeting after 20 years or 15 years. And you'll tell or discuss about your school. This person is connected life after life. And he asked the second time also after 2 years, "Is that really true that you're meeting me after?" Yes, yes, I told you, no? Yes, I'm meeting you again. It's bold. And I remember spiritual master telling, "I don't want to go anywhere. I want to stay here, serve the words of my spiritual master and serve Srila Prabhupada nicely." And he says that I'll come again. That's what he says. To serve. This is a different plane. So what I'm trying to say is the same jiva, see different states. Just like the jiva is fully convinced in sense gratification. For example, a person is he's doing some action or activity, then he's so convinced with that. He says that, "Oh, if you do this like this, then you'll get better results on a material plan." They speak because this is the same jiva. That means if it is working in the material consciousness, it should also work in the spiritual consciousness. There's no problem in that. Very important. Hare Krishna. Is that okay, Prabhu? Am I addressing your answer?
Yes, Prabhuji, we have the greatest gift from the acharyas. We have all this mercy coming through. Um, yes, Prabhuji. So we have the greatest opportunity to go and be with the Lord's internal energy completely and be there. Um, but still, like, what is the justification? Lord created us as marginal energy, and so like we have always this chance of fall down. So like, but that there is no such thing for internal energy. Like any of the Lord's associates, they can never fall down. But we are so unfortunate. We have this propensity that we'll fall down. So what is the justification there that the Lord created us ill like this, and then we have to overcome all this to go back to Him?
Actually, the jiva, the moment he establishes that relationship, there's no fall down. Now, this fall down which we're talking is just a mere reflection to going just away from the Lord for a moment or so, because there's no time factor also there. Because the moment sadhaka goes back to spiritual world, it's like Krishna, it's like one like this, because it's a very tiny time factor. That means technically on that plane, we are not too far away from the Lord. Please understand. That means we are always there. We just came here as a sidetrack. And this time is not that big time also from that plane when we see. That is a factor. That's why Lord sends us here. We feel that this is more. This is not more for them. It's for us only. We are feeling that. Just like a child who wants to walk, he is not walking. We know that he will walk. The child doesn't know. He's thinking that when I will walk, when I will walk. This is what exactly is happening for us. It's not that big of a time. But once you go, you'll not come back again. That minute time factor only. So the fall down is not a big thing actually. Here also we experience the presence of the Lord, but reverse. Because this itself, this creation, everything is temporary actually. See, Brahma's time period for us is big time. To the Lord, it's not big time. It's minute. If you understand that there is no time factor in the spiritual world, it's a different plane problem. So when pure devotees say they come again and again, it's it's not of a surprise actually if they understand everything. Because they know it's a small time. It's not. That's why they want to use that small time in the service of the Lord, because they are from there. When we realize that we are also from there, we also use our time like that. This small things is small distractions, very minor things actually. Please understand, those personalities are also coming here to take us. It's a very small time. It's not a big time. Making sense, bro?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Oh, chota hai. Very small thing. Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna,
Vamshila
Prabhuji.
bro.
Yeah.
One second. Vamshila bro, did that address your answer? Address your question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for thinking nicely. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances or to Shri Prabhu. So it's very beautiful and very deep today. But the point is, it's all about Krishna and his relationship. Um, uh,
See, these
and
relationships
our
are
relation.
permanent. See, these relationships are eternal. That's why I see my spiritual master speaking since last 20 years or even more. He might have spoken in the last life also. He'll be speaking in the next life also. So it's continuous thing. Please understand, as his relationship is eternal, the truth which is coming through the relationship is also eternal. When that is eternal, you need to understand the spiritual world is also eternal. This is a continuous thing. So then this is a small time factor we are kept here. But that small time thing looks like big for us. Oh, millions of lifetimes. It's a small thing only from their realm. When we see, for example, when we see through the Brahma's lens, it's very small actually. For him, just one day. So one day is like insignificant time for him. In that one day, we will take millions of lifetimes. For him itself, it is insignificant. If you compare this insignificance to Krishna, it is very insignificant. That means we came from there. Our position is there. That means when we go and see from there, it's insignificant. We will also feel, insignificant this is. That's why when the acharyas say, I want to go back, that means they don't want to leave that separation because you know, they feel that is the will of the Lord. I want to go back now. So this small correction which we are seeing is very minor actually, from a relative plane. From the absolute plane, when we see, it's very minor. From the relative plane, when we see here, it's different. From the absolute, it is very minor correction. Hare Krishna. That's why if you actually see, we change the bodies also. Because Krishna doesn't want allow us to stick to the same thing. He's changing. Even in that minor thing, he's thinking so much about us. Please understand. This is minor only. But even in that minor correction, because this entire material plane is just one third, and then it is very temporary and insignificant. This one third creation, which he created, is on a temporary plane. Even universal form is temporary. Everything which you see is temporary. The Vishnu who is coming here as Garbhodaka Vishnu, he will also wind off after certain time. Brahmaji will also wind off. Lord Shiva will also wind off. Then Mahavishnu stays. Karadaka Vishnu. And Kshirodaka Vishnu, he will also wind off. Please understand, this is all created for this temporary realm. Just like you're boarding a train, you came to the platform. How much time will you stay in the platform? Until you receive your train. Once your train is done, you'll climb the train and then you'll go to your destination. The staying in that platform is this material world. It's a very small time. But when we see through the lens of millions of lifetimes, this, that, then we think that this is big, but this is not big. It's very tiny. Hai. It's like in the time, it's like the time staying on the platform. You have a journey to do, you have to go. ये आपका नहीं है. You don't belong here. That's why you don't get happiness. You don't belong here. इसलिए if you actually see pure devotees, they don't carry anything here. Because they are realized. It's a matter of time. You'll also not carry anything here. That will be either through death, or if you realize that before, then you'll become pure devotees. You'll not carry anything here. Anything in the heart. You'll not carry anything. Correct. Please tell. Please tell.
No, Prabhuji, it's always. I was just thinking, with it's so beautiful that you explained all of this today. Even Prabhuji's question, and then once we realize how tiny we are and how hankering for that small thing, which yesterday I was like, we had satsang yesterday, beautiful satsang. We got a chance to dance for Krishna Gaur Aarti. While dancing, all the Matajis were dancing, and it's some kind of uh, not in a sync, right? Obviously, in a small circle. I was just thinking, small thing. It's good if we dance in sync, like to Mahaprabhu, right? Adjust ourselves, and then, but then everybody is in ecstasy dancing. If I focus on this inconsistency too deep, I'm like lost. Where am I? Instead of dancing for Krishna, I'm thinking like too deep into this. And now that you're explaining, this is just one instant that we are here to correct the mistake. In the eyes of Krishna, it's so teeny. In eyes of Brahma itself is so teeny. What to speak of Krishna? And I'm missing that one instance of thinking about Krishna, thinking about Acharyas at that moment, rather than rather I'm actually focusing on where is this sink and blah blah blah, everything, right, bro? So it's and the other way around also. It's all about relationships, right? On how we if I'm not convinced here, if I'm not adjusting here for this small thing of dance, what to speak of, how can I, if I go there, how am I going to, I was just thinking with the spiritual master's mercy, with all these through messages, I'm able to kind of relate and think at that moment rather than just for flowing along with that situation and then rethinking about it, and all of waste of time, Prabhuji. So it's what I'm trying to say is Krishna will give opportunities every time. Every minute he gives opportunities for us to think and correct ourselves through the messages that we are listening. So Shravana is as you always say, Shravana is very Kirtana doesn't come just like that without Shravana. That interest and we need to know what is the substance of Kirtana, and that could be known only through Shravana. Attentive listening, and as Mataji was also saying, uh, that should be in apply. We should apply through service. Then only
Exactly.
these realizations at that moment. Um, Otherwise, we'll be lost. We'll
Exactly.
be, we'll be thinking about that rubbish.
Because otherwise the relationship will not be established.
Yeah. Uh, and the realizations come only through deep relationship. Uh, and if we don't have that relationship here, how are we going to have relationship with Krishna in the
No,
spiritual?
that is the problem. Na?
Yeah,
Here, that we actually see, we have problems with relationships only.
yeah.
Actually, that's why we are here. Because we have problems with relationships here in the spiritual world.
Mm,
So, yeah. क्योंकि relationship में problem है.
mm,
As a jiva, we want to stay in separation of the Lord. Even though the time looks teeny, but for us it looks heavy. Whatever heavy is here, there is tiny. Anything you see, anything you take. There is prema here. When you see here, it is kama. So it's all perverted. So it's changed. Kama means you want to use the other person. It's their prema. They want to give love. That's why if somebody begins giving love here, people will use the other person. You should be careful in using the words and telling, oh, I'm there for you. Should not use the words. Should be careful. Because if you say I'm there for you, that person is not in that state. To your question where you told yesterday, right? We shouldn't tell, you know what, I'm very selfless for you. We should be selfless to the spiritual master, not to you. We should share the heart to the spiritual master, not to you. Because they will use you. Because this is a material world. Because just like they came from here, they came from there, they don't know that they have to correct the consciousness here. So through that, what they will do, they'll use us. Because the karma, prema karma, it transformed into karma. Na? No, through that karma, they want to use. That's the problem. It's very important. So this we need to understand more. We should be careful with everyone in this world. We should be vigilant. We should be vigilant, careful. We cannot trust anyone. Please do not trust. This material world is not there to trust. We are trusting, they will cheat us. Find that person who's a pure soul. Trust them. Develop a relationship with them. Now I am actually feeling, because I remember when I met my spiritual master for the first time, he told me to do this service. I don't know, immediately I accepted and I did that service. Now I feel so much sheltered and protection through that service because he gave that. And then through not only that, the relationship is established with him. Now I'm feeling, I can really remember where he told me that, how he told me, with conversation, where I was sitting. So we remember all of those things. Dear devotees, the moment you go to the spiritual world, you also remember everything. Oh, this is where I was sitting, this is where I was doing. So it's all there. You all belong there actually. You have to just correct your consciousness, finish the business, and go back, come back to God. Aspire for that. There is no other aspiration in this world. Because none of those aspirations will give satisfaction to the heart. None can give satisfaction. Hare Krishna. I think I'll stop here. Thank you all very much. This can continue, but I have to, have some service. I have to put the milk on the stove, boil that, offer it to the Lord, and then so that family, they will come by 9. Some just to see some things are ready for them. Hare Krishna.
Like Mother Yashoda boiling milk for Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji. Thank you so very much for your time and energy.
Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Hare
Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam
Krishna.
pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.